What triggers a car crash? What catastrophic forces come to bear? And most importantly, what can you do to avoid one? In the coming hour, we venture around the globe to delve into the world of car crash investigations. This is an adventure that leads from hard science to the most human of stories. Its heroes are those who solve the mysteries hidden in the anatomy of a crash. And what they discover could save your life.
Yeah, 740 Baker, 750 Baker, 770 Baker, dispatch for an accident with injury. Third Lake Road, Fairfax County Parkway. Will be northbound on the parkway. Two vehicles involved. One lady holding her head. No further this time. 11:55.
April 17, 2002. A nightmare becomes reality for Marcia McCaslin. In one instant, she was driving down the highway. In the next, she is fighting for her life.
I remember the CMT. He was in the car behind me.
We're going to do a quick assessment on you. Did you feel down the partner, get in the back?
He said, don't move, just lay there.
Don't move your head.
And so when the other medical emergencies got there, they told him what's going on. They cut off the roof.
Don't be scared. We're going to be right here with you. What you're going to hear is them pushing the jaws of life right to the door.
Cut off the door and got me out of there.
Paramedics rush Marcia to the Inova Fairfax Medical Center in Fairfax, Virginia. Today, crash investigations don't end when the wreckage is cleared. Even as some of the world's top emergency care specialists examine Marcia's injuries.
All right, you're gonna feel a little pinch here.
Another team begins its own search for clues. We follow some of the world's top crash experts as they bring a brand new, comprehensive approach to the science of crashes. Marcia's own crash serves as a case study for an elite team of police investigators, medical specialists, and engineers, members of a group called SIREN, or Crash Injury Research Engineering Network. Minutes after learning of Marcia's accident, Detective James Banichowski of the Fairfax County Police Force arrives at the crash site. We follow the detective, who is a full-time crash investigator, one of the best in the country.
It's a big jigsaw puzzle. And with the evidence on the roadway, the markings from the vehicle, debris in the roadway, it tells a story to us. And that's what we try to interpret that story and take those pieces and put it all back together.
Detective Banichowski first tries to view the site in its entirety, gaining an overview of what might have transpired.
What I'll do is walk to the end of the accident scene, what I feel is the point where the vehicle actually lost control. And now I'll turn myself around and follow the actual path of the vehicle that it had traveled by looking at the roadway evidence, determining what tire left what mark, if I'm able to determine that.
Two cars were involved in the crash. One, a black BMW, is in relatively good shape, but the other, Marcia's silver Saturn, bore the brunt of the collision. Detective Banichowski talks with eyewitnesses and the first patrolman who arrived on the scene.
What we've got so far is the vehicle is coming down the parkway. There's probably some kind of traffic issue that happened up there. I believe that the car was cut off. She lost control, came across the roadway, and northbound traffic just couldn't get out of the way.
Okay, and we're talking about the black BMW was actually southbound on a parkway?
Right.
And the vehicle that it strikes is our silver Saturn, correct?
But eyewitness accounts are notoriously unreliable. Violent crashes often occur in 1/10 of a second, faster than the human eye can record or the mind process. More often than not, witnesses remember the incident wrong, even reversing the order of events. Detective Banichowski will have to rely most heavily on the physical evidence. Today, gathering and interpreting clues about a crash has developed into a highly sophisticated science. The best way to learn how to investigate a crash is to create your own. And causing crashes is exactly what Rusty Haight does for a living. Rusty Haight trains crash site investigators. He's so dedicated, he quite literally puts life and limb on the line. He feels that the best way to learn about crashes is to witness and investigate a real one. Rusty holds the Guinness World Record for crashes. To recreate a real-life crash, Rusty's car accelerates to 35 miles an hour.
This was my 662nd human subject crash. It's, I guess, a dubious honor. More importantly, I think it's an opportunity to do something about traffic safety in general. Gathering good, reliable information is the basis, the cornerstone for traffic safety. If doing the crash test does something, whether it gives them the information or gives them the interest and the drive to do a better job, then I think we've done something for the bigger picture for saving lives and traffic safety in general.
It may seem crazy, but there is a method to the madness. Rusty's goal is to train top-notch investigators.
Who had all the momentum and who had all the energy? This guy did, right? And then part of that energy was used up bending the front of this car and pushing the side of that in. Now, why did I hit it where I hit it? Anybody got a good clue? Soft spot. There you go. Because then it was a longer duration crash, and we'll be talking about duration in the class later. It was a longer duration crash, but be thinking about that in terms of preventing injury and making it a less severe crash for the people in the car.
The most important witnesses are the inanimate ones.
Crashes leave behind physical evidence, and physical evidence is tangible, silent information about the crash. Tire marks, bent metal, pieces of things on the roadway, gouges, tears in the pavement, tears in metal, tears in dead bodies. All of those are physical evidence that need to be analyzed, and since they can't speak for themselves, the accident reconstructionist has to get involved and start looking at these and see what they mean, what they tell him about how the wreck happened.
Who killed King Tut? Was it his advisor?
Where is that?